Did I just support a man that hit a woman? I guess I did.
We are Brian's Funhouse. No one likes the Brian's Funhouse. Let's go Brian's Funhouse now.
Alright, thanks for clicking on the channel. Thanks for all your likes and comments. This is going to be a little more heavy-handed subject, I guess, than what we normally do here on Brian's Funhouse. We are going to touch a little bit about politics, so I will say this. In the comments below, I want you to say what you want to say. However, do not say, this person sucks, that person sucks. Just simply answer the question, are we able, or are you able, to separate the art from the artist? So like I said in the beginning, I supported a guy that hit a woman. Back in 2014, Mr. Ben Weasel at South by Southwest was getting hit with beer and ice to the face. He looked at the perpetrator in the crowd, swung, didn't make much contact from what I can see on the video, and there's even people that have half sped the video. I mean, you really see clearly. Looks like brushed it. This woman who also, I think, worked at the club, came on stage, tried to grab his shoulder to say, hey, what the heck you doing? He turned around, punched at her again, didn't make much contact, and tried to swing again. Security broke it up. Security failed that night. Security should have seen that he was getting pelted with ice and stuff. No excuse for his actions, but it's all in all, even at a punk show, that's a security fail. So yeah, so then he, like everyone else, I personally hate apologies because, people are very rarely sincere, and then people are very rarely sincere in apologizing. So, I don't know, teach its own on that. But he issued the apology, I have kids, and I'm sorry, I was mad, I will never do that again, blah, 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 blah. Since then, 2014, he has not struck a woman since. It would have been cool if he donated, I don't know if he did, but, portions of a single or something to, like, a woman's home, or something nice. You just screw up, you want to try to do something nice. But anyway, since then, of course, he has been, and he's always been, an outspoken punk rocker. Whether he's playing a character to gain attention when he was a columnist, as always lead singer of Screeching Weasel, or if it's just his true self and he doesn't have a filter. A lot of people say, I don't have much of a filter, it just comes right out, which I can appreciate. I like people that cut through the BS and just tell you what they're thinking. So since then, of course, and I'm using his word here, he used the word tranny on the thing, so people are kind of upset with the language he uses and how he presents himself. So a lot of my friends, when Screeching Weasel is coming to town, even though they're a Chicago band, they really don't come to town very much at all. I went to see him, and some people are kind of like, oh, I'm not going to tell my friends I'm going to see them because I don't want to get crap, seeing I'm seeing Ben Weasel, and I'm sorry. And I'm not naive. When you pay a ticket to see a band, you are supporting that person in a way. I mean, you are. They're going to get paid because you paid to see them, or if you bought their album or you bought their shirt, you're supporting them. If you like them or not, be honest with yourself, you're supporting them. So I posted on Facebook, hey, this is why I'm going. I feel that he hasn't hit anyone since. The apology's a wash, I feel like no one was physically hurt, perhaps emotionally hurt, who knows. And I make the decision, the crime, does it support me boycotting, and that's what I want to ask you. What does it take for an artist? Do they have to do something, or they have to just say something, and you're through with them? You're going to sell their albums, you're not going to listen to them anymore. So I said, yeah, overall, I enjoy the band. I want to have a good time. It's a selfish thing. I want to have a good time. I love Screeching Weasel music, the early stuff more. And yeah, I just want to have a good time. I didn't think what he did warranted me to be like, never going to see him again. I'm going to burn his albums. Some people said, I am easily able to separate the art from the artist. Me, a little bit. I mean, I do concern myself with who is who. For instance, Ted Nugent. I'm not going to talk his politics. I'm just going to talk his stance on trophy hunting. He's for trophy hunting. Trophy hunting to me is a very touchy subject, and I don't really like it. Now, Ted Nugent, way back in 2000, 2001, opened for Kiss, and I went to see Kiss. Now, did I stand outside of the arena and go, I'm going to boycott Ted? No, I'm going to enjoy the show. I knew a few of his songs, and I figured I would go in and see Ted, even though he's somebody that I would no longer buy an album for, purchase a t-shirt, but because he was in the opening band, I was like, whatever. If I felt a little stronger, I guess, I could have easily sat outside of the arena, wait for him to be through, and then entered the arena for Kiss. And I don't even know Kiss's stance point on trophy hunting. Maybe all four guys in Kiss at the time were all trophy hunting. And that's another thing. Do we want to know everything about our performers? Years ago, before social media, before every single artist had their own, platforms, 3 or 4 social media platforms that tell you everything they're thinking, performers were a mystery. You'd have your Circus Magazine interview, your Rolling Stone interview and they really talk to the singer or guitar player, so you wouldn't know everything about everyone in the band. But I was always curious. And then you get older and you're like, and right now I'm 50-50. I kind of like reading and stuff, but as soon as I'm like, oh, that person feels that way on that issue, I don't really need to know all that, because I still want to enjoy that person. Now, with Ted, he's got a few good songs. I don't think his career is all that great. So it's easier for me to be like, well, yeah, Ted, you suck. I'm not going to listen anymore. And I have sold his albums. I don't want Ted Nugent albums anymore. I have a few CDs of him and other bands and stuff, but that's because I really just don't like Ted Nugent. Like Kid Rock, he's a really polarizing person right now. He's a lot on the right, and people are getting mad. I'm going to boycott. I'm never going to buy Kid Rock. I don't like Kid Rock. I think he sucks. Maybe that first song was okay, that Bout About the Biggie one. I heard it from, I think, the Howard Stern show, and it was okay, but I don't really like it. So it's easy for me to be like, yeah, screw you, Kid Rock. Now, some of my favorite bands, Rush and Cheap Trick, now if those guys were to come out with political or any kind of personal views that I totally hated, that would be a hard one, because something tells me that shy of murdering, like, I wonder how OJ fans felt. OJ was a big-time athlete, and people really loved him. People collected his stuff and still collect his stuff. Are they able to say, well, I know he did that, but I really like the stuff? Totally able to split the actions from, the performer or not? So that would be a hard one if some of my favorite bands came out with stuff that I just thought was bad. It would be a hard call. I luckily haven't had to make that decision yet. I don't read all the things. Like I said, I'm kind of 50-50 right now with how much I want to read about a band and how much I don't really want to know about them and all that stuff, especially when groups get older. Their opinions get all crazier. Usually people get older and they get all crazy. I'm still immature, so I have a lot of the same opinions I did in my mid-20s and stuff. So that's what I kind of want to know in the comments below. Are you at a point, say you don't like something, are you able to go, I don't care, man, it's art from the artist, I don't care. Yeah, I'm still kind of supporting them if I stream a song or I buy a t-shirt, but I just don't care. Or are you like, yeah, it doesn't really, I'm not going to buy anything new from them. I may purchase used stuff because that supports the store that's selling it and it no longer supports the artist. Or do you get to the third level, I guess, which would be like, no way, I'm going to burn all the stuff. I don't want anything to do with this artist. So I think there's layers of what you can do to kind of ignore, to kind of acknowledge a little bit, like, which is where I was with Screech and Weasel. Or then totally be the opposite where, a few of my friends were. Nope, not going, not supporting anything, probably going to sell the albums I have of theirs, yada, yada, yada. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about that. Because we do live in a really polarizing place, especially now with media. Media is not there to tell you the truth. Media is there to sell ad space. So they may take a few chosen words and kind of throw them out there, even though it's not really what the story is mainly about. Or if you read the whole story, which people seldom do, you'll find out that it's really not the headline of the story. But so it's in YouTube. What we're watching this on is blessed with some great independent journalist people that'll go talk. For me, I've changed my views on a few political topics, let's say, because I watched a video. Like, I don't even want to say because I don't want people to get all fired up. But yeah, you'll see people that are more impacted rather from an issue than I would be. Then I want to hear from them and then form my opinion saying, oh yeah, I didn't realize that they got affected in that way. Especially here in the U.S. I mean, other people, parts of this world watch this video. Hello. I think my viewership is mainly U.S., a little bit Canada. But yeah, in the U.S., we're really right now, especially, we're polarized. We're left or right, and we dig in our heels and just go to the other side. And we're an interesting country because someone living in rural Alaska is going to have a different opinion about stuff than somebody living in New York City or somebody in Alabama than somebody in Hawaii. But yet we elect kind of one person under three branches to kind of move our country forward or backward. That's going to affect everyone, and there's a lot of differences within the United States. But anyway, let's go back to the music world. So yeah, on the right side of things, you usually have your Ted Nugent, Tom Wazzarara from Slayer, Mr. Bobby Steele from the Misfits, Lee Ving from Fear, Alice Cooper, Sammy Hagar, Gene Simmons, a little more of the conservative thing. Because usually rock music, especially punk and rock, by default, you just assume people are a little more liberal with their policies. I met Alice Cooper. He was really nice, got his autograph. Lee Ving, I've seen his band play. I think I saw Steele in the Misfits. I've seen Slayer a few times. Gene Simmons, of course, I paid a lot for the VIP thing. Now, will I sit down with these people and agree with everything they're saying? No, we're probably going to have pretty much, but I'm not taking what they're saying so seriously that's going to cause me to want to not listen to their bands. Now, people on the left side would be like Green Day, Ministry, Rise Against, Bad Religion, Rage Against the Machine. Oh, I had Skinner here. I don't know if this is showing up. This is Leonard Skinner. They're on my right side, see? And Rage Against the Machine was on my left side. How clever I am. Yeah, so listening to them. And you have people that are really out there with the opinion, especially we have ongoing conflicts in the world. It's a shame that we do, but we do. And within the two of them, you have Roger Waters sharing his opinion about stuff, Eric Clapton. I don't really, and that's a great example right there. Roger Waters, love Pink Floyd, went to see him live. If he's going to say stuff that I agree with, oh, cool, I feel the way that Roger does. If he's going to say stuff that I don't agree with, oh, man, that sucks, Roger. But I'm still going to listen to your music. Eric Clapton, I was always more of a Jimmy Page person. So I really don't care what Eric Clapton, if he said something I don't like, yeah, screw you, Eric Clapton. I'm never going to listen to you again, because I really don't like Eric Clapton that much. So it's, again, let me know in the comments below. Do you have any performers that you're just like, can't like anymore? Or performers that you love so much, you're like, I'm not going to look at their social medias. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I know, was it Red Hot Chili Pepper fans? Andy Kiedis is always with like 18-year-old girls, just barely legal. A lot of people have a problem with that. The older he gets, I know some Chili fans are like, I don't know, I just don't want to see him with pictures. Let me know if there's any instance like this. And again, I know this is hard to do. Don't call out political leaders. I have to delete that. I don't want this discussion to be right versus left. I want it to be more your opinion. And I will say something about politics. This is my channel, and I could step on a little soapbox. Everyone asks me, how do you vote, like friends and stuff like that. What I do every important election cycle, which isn't every 4 years, it's every year you have elections, I look up issues on independent sites, and you take your little quiz. You erase your mind, erase what media is telling you, just feel in your heart. You take the little quiz on how you should vote. It'll show you which candidates are good. Do you vote this or that? I think it sucks we only have two sides to pick from, especially me, who seems to be in the middle a little bit. It sucks we don't have 3 or 4 parties to pick from. That's the world we're living in. We have 2. So yeah, so then I take that and I go for it and I vote. And I wish more people were like that. I wish we weren't so dug in side versus side crap. It would just open our little minds a little bit, read the issues, and see what sends our country better. And I don't say what sends us personally better. Like me, I don't have any kids. So why would I ever vote for a pro-school tax? Well, sometimes school needs things. Now, I don't have any kids. They're not going to school. I should always vote no, 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 no. And I usually do like to vote no because I get taxed enough. But sometimes there are important things. Now, that's not me that's going to directly benefit from it. But you want to live in an area that, the kids are happy and the kids are have things to do so they don't resort, crime and being little jerks. So yeah, that's just an example of how you would vote for thinking in a group what sends everything forward as opposed to just what sends yourself forward. Appreciate all you guys watching. Again, let me know in the comments below if you're able to split, the art from the artist and how you do it and which performers you've now like, which performers I can't like, or which performers, like I said, you just don't want to hear because you're always going to love them. All right. Hey, we got through this. Thanks for watching. Hey, forgot to mention. So yeah, I did go to Screech Weasel, bought the t-shirt. I don't need any more rock t-shirts, but for $30, cheaper than 40, I guess, bought a t-shirt, had a great time. The classic lineup is gone from Screech Weasel. They're never gonna come back, so it's Ben plus whoever he has. And he seemed a little winded throughout the show, but other than that, man, the song's great. Had a great time, good times. About this flag was flown over the White House in 1987 in honor of my grandfather who served. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Gets to be on a YouTube video now. All right, thanks for watching.